There's a common belief that many people over 60 still hold on to, and I suspect you may have thought the same at some point. We often assume that giving up coffee and switching to strong green tea or matcha is automatically better for our heart and brain. It sounds logical, since green tea is known for its antioxidants and has been praised for its health benefits. But the truth is, when we drink these so-called energy teas in large amounts, our body doesn't get healthier. In fact, it ends up dealing with a new set of problems. I've met many older patients who share a similar habit of drinking strong tea every day to stay alert. Yet they later complain about shaky hands, a racing heartbeat, and restless nights. The most concerning part is how their blood pressure rises suddenly and unexpectedly. For younger people, this might just cause momentary discomfort. But for us, in our 60s and beyond, when the risks of high blood pressure and cardiovascular complications are already lurking, a sudden spike triggered by something as simple as a tea habit can become a genuine threat to the brain. That's why, in today's video, I want to take you deeper into why drinking concentrated green tea and matcha may do more harm than good if we overuse them. More importantly, we'll look at how to drink them the right way to protect memory, keep a clear mind, and still stay safe when it comes to heart health. If this is a topic you care about, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe so you don't miss upcoming information, and leave a comment below so we can continue the conversation. After 60, many of us cut back on coffee because we worry about palpitations or trouble sleeping. In its place, we often turn to green tea or matcha. On the surface, it makes sense. Green tea has long been celebrated as a healthy drink, packed with antioxidants that support the heart and memory. What's less obvious, though, is that these teas still contain caffeine, sometimes just as much as a weak cup of coffee. And once we reach our 60s, our bodies don't process caffeine as efficiently as they used to. When we were younger, our liver enzymes worked quickly, breaking down caffeine within a few hours. But as we age, this process slows down. That means a strong cup of tea in the morning can still leave us jittery, with a pounding heart, all the way into the evening. If we add another cup in the afternoon, the caffeine lingers well into the night. No wonder so many older adults tell me they switched from coffee to green tea, yet still deal with trembling hands, restless sleep, or a mind that feels wound up all day. Inside the brain, a natural chemical called adenosine acts like a messenger of fatigue, letting us know when it's time to slow down and rest. Caffeine blocks those signals, essentially tricking the brain into feeling alert. In small amounts, that can be helpful. It sharpens focus and wards off drowsiness. But when caffeine builds up, especially in older adults, the brain misses out on necessary downtime. It's like running a machine non-stop without giving it a chance to cool off. Another detail many people overlook is how our nervous system has two sides, one that promotes rest and one that gears us up to be alert and ready. Caffeine pushes heavily on the alert side, speeding up the heart, raising blood pressure, and leaving the brain strung tight. Younger bodies can often absorb that stress, but after 60, when arteries lose elasticity and the heart isn't as strong, this artificial state of high alert becomes a dangerous strain. Have you ever had a concentrated matcha in the afternoon, only to find yourself tossing and turning at night? That's caffeine at work. And one sleepless night doesn't just leave you tired. Deep sleep is when the brain clears out waste products that build up during the day. When sleep is cut short, toxins like amyloid can accumulate, and over the long term, that buildup is tied to memory loss and Alzheimer's disease, a connection scientists are studying closely. So, green tea and matcha are not bad drinks. In moderation, they truly offer benefits. But after 60, if we go overboard, brewing them extra strong, or drinking several cups a day, we turn what should be a healthy habit into a source of harm for both brain and heart. I always advise my older patients that one light cup of green tea in the morning is enough to stay refreshed. But drinking multiple cups, or deliberately making it stronger to get more energy, quickly shifts from benefit to burden. It helps to think of caffeine as a spice, A little adds flavor, but too much ruins the dish. And for our brain, especially past 60, that excess can bring shaky hands, nervous tension, poor sleep, and over time, declining memory. Let's take a closer look at how green tea and matcha affect blood pressure and what that means for the aging brain. One detail many people overlook when they drink concentrated tea is the impact of caffeine on circulation. Caffeine is a strong stimulant. Once inside the body, it doesn't only make you feel more awake, it also tightens blood vessels and speeds up the heartbeat, which can raise blood pressure within 30 minutes. For younger adults, that rise may be small, and the body can adjust quickly. For those of us past 60, where arteries are less elastic and plaques may already be forming along the vessel walls, that sudden jump in pressure can turn into a serious concern. I've had many older patients tell me they felt a headache, flushing in the face, or a sense of tightness after drinking strong tea. These are not coincidences. The quick rise in blood pressure puts immediate stress on blood vessels in the brain. Some even describe feeling lightheaded or unsteady when standing up. These are signs that the circulation and brain are under direct pressure from caffeine. Researchers explain this effect by pointing to how caffeine raises stress hormones in the blood, such as adrenaline. As those hormone levels climb, the heart pumps harder, blood vessels narrow, and blood pressure increases. For someone already dealing with high blood pressure or taking medication for it, this can disrupt the balance of treatment. Many people take their pills faithfully each morning, but then unintentionally cancel out the benefits by drinking several cups of strong matcha later in the day. What makes this so concerning is that the brain suffers most from these pressure surges. When blood pressure spikes, delicate vessels in the brain are strained and can sustain damage over time. That damage reduces the supply of oxygen and nutrients to nerve cells, slowly paving the way for memory decline, poor focus, and even strokes. Think of it like an old water pipe. The inside surface is no longer smooth, and if the water pressure suddenly surges, weak spots are more likely to leak, crack, or burst. Blood vessels in the brain work the same way. In youth, they can stretch to handle changes, but with age, even a modest sudden increase can cause lasting injury. Concentrated tea packed with caffeine is one of the triggers that can deliver this dangerous push. The sad reality is that many people assume green tea or matcha must be safe simply because they are natural. That sense of safety makes us less cautious. Especially for anyone already diagnosed with hypertension, strong tea can cause spikes without noticeable symptoms. The body doesn't always send clear signals. When those jumps happen day after day, the brain carries the long-term burden. The best approach is to pay attention to how your body reacts. If you notice your heart racing, a bit of nervousness, or a mild headache after drinking tea, those could be signs that your blood pressure is rising. For people over 60, the safer habit is to stick with mild tea, avoid drinking it late in the day, and especially avoid cup after cup throughout the afternoon. Small changes like these can help keep blood pressure steady and give the brain more protection. Now let's move on to sleep, one of the most important concerns in our community. When blood pressure has already been pushed around by caffeine, the next consequence is almost inevitable sleep disruption. And as you know, after 60, sleep becomes more fragile, more easily disturbed. A bit of light, a small noise, or even a strong cup of tea in the late afternoon can be enough to turn the whole night into restless tossing and turning. The problem isn't just the tiredness felt the next morning. During deep sleep, the brain carries out a crucial process clearing away waste products that build up during the day. One of these is beta amyloid, a protein that tends to accumulate into plaques strongly linked with Alzheimer's disease. When sleep is cut short or its quality declines, that cleaning process is left unfinished. Waste products pile up day after day, gradually weakening memory and focus. I've often heard patients say, "Doctor, I forget things a lot these days, but that's probably just age." Yet when I ask further, they admit to poor sleep or frequent insomnia. They never suspect that their afternoon matcha habit is what prevents the brain from getting the rest it desperately needs. Those repeated nights of poor sleep are like running a machine without ever shutting it down. At first, it keeps going. Over time, heat builds, dust collects, and efficiency drops. The brain follows the same pattern. One study published in Sleep pointed out that even a few consecutive nights of insufficient sleep can reduce memory and information processing in older adults. That finding highlights how sleep is more than just resets the foundation of clear thinking. When caffeine interferes and the night's rest is chopped into pieces, memory slowly fades, often without us recognizing the true cause. You may have experienced this yourself. You wake up after 7 or 8 hours in bed, yet feel heavy, foggy, as if your head is wrapped in mist. That's the brain showing it hasn't had enough recovery time. When this keeps happening, forgetting a familiar name, missing an appointment, or losing track of what you meant to do becomes more frequent. To break out of that cycle, the brain needs consistent, high-quality rest. A light cup of tea in the morning is usually fine, but as the day goes on, caffeine intake should be reduced. By evening, the brain needs calm and quiet to work in the background, clearing away debris, filing memories, and preparing for a new day. From here, we can move on to another issue that matters just as much, which is oxidative stress, the burden that slowly wears down our nerve cells. When the brain has already lost rest because of caffeine and has not had time to recover, another burden quietly appears, and that is oxidative stress. If we think of our memory and reasoning as a bright lamp, oxidative stress is like a layer of dust building up over time, dimming the light little by little. Every cell in the body produces free radicals, unstable molecules that can cause harm if they accumulate. Normally, we have natural antioxidant systems that neutralize them, keeping the brain and body in balance. Green tea and matcha are often praised for being rich in antioxidants, especially catechins. What few people realize is that when tea is brewed too strong, the caffeine that comes with it can actually strain the nervous system. The body reacts by releasing more stress hormones, and those hormones in turn fuel the production of even more free radicals. The benefits of antioxidants in tea no longer shine through, overshadowed by the stress response from excess caffeine. In the brain, free radicals can damage the outer membranes of nerve cells, slowing communication between them. Over time, this contributes to neurodegeneration, weakening memory and slowing thought. I've heard many people say they drink strong tea to cleanse the body. In reality, the body isn't being cleansed, it's being stressed. Think of it like running a fan. At a moderate setting, the fan cools the room, but if you turn it up to maximum in a closed space, the room doesn't cool much more, while the motor overheats quickly. Caffeine in strong tea works the same way. Instead of bringing calm, it overloads the nervous system, forcing brain cells to function in an environment thick with free radicals. What makes oxidative stress so dangerous is that it doesn't cause obvious symptoms right away. We cannot directly feel nerve cells getting weaker, but subtle signs like poor memory, slower reaction time, or mental heaviness are warnings. If the imbalance lasts for years, the risk of dementia rises. A study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience in 2021 emphasized that the imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants is a major driver of brain aging. The good news is that we can control some of this. Instead of believing that stronger tea means better health, the smarter choice is to brew it lighter, eat plenty of vegetables and fruit, and keep an active lifestyle. That way, the body maintains enough defenses against oxidative stress. The brain stays protected and works more efficiently in daily life. And I don't want you to feel discouraged. I'm here to help you look at tea in a clearer way and to share practical steps that anyone can follow for better brain health. It's important to say clearly that green tea and matcha are not harmful by nature. In fact, when used properly, they provide real benefits for the brain thanks to their antioxidants. The key question is whether to drink them at all, but rather how we drink them. After 61 light cup of green tea in the morning is the perfect way to start the day. At that time, the body is just waking up and needs gentle alertness. A small amount of caffeine is enough to awaken the senses without creating stress. On the other hand, strong tea in the late afternoon or evening can easily lead to sleepless nights, robbing the brain of recovery time. Timing matters. Morning or before noon is the safest window. After 2 or 3 in the afternoon, it's best to avoid. For those who truly enjoy the bold taste of matcha, the solution lies in dilution and moderation. Half a teaspoon of powder whisked with plenty of warm water creates the signature flavor without flooding the body with caffeine. And instead of drinking it daily, consider just a few times per week. This way, you enjoy the taste and benefits of matcha while keeping heart and brain stability. Beyond green tea and matcha, there are many other brain-friendly drinks without caffeine. A cup of chamomile tea in the evening, for example, promotes restful sleep and reduces tension. Peppermint brings a cool freshness and clears the airways without stressing the nerves. Warm water with lemon slices or ginger adds vitamin C, supports circulation, and soothes digestion. Some people also discover the gentle benefits of roasted barley tea or rooibos. Both are naturally caffeine-free, mild in flavor, and rich in antioxidants. Rooibos in particular has been studied for its potential to support circulation and reduce inflammation. For those over 60, these teas can be safe companions, giving the brain time to rest without the overstimulation that caffeine brings. I've had patients who told me they didn't know how to stay alert in the afternoon without their green tea or matcha. My advice for them was simple: switch to a glass of fresh coconut water or low-sugar fruit juice. The difference they noticed was refreshing. They felt lightly energized, no longer restless, and were able to sleep peacefully at night. Coconut water, for example, is rich in potassium, which helps balance electrolytes and supports a steady heartbeat. This doesn't just protect the heart, it also eases the brain's workload, since the brain relies on steady circulation to function well. When we step back and look at the full journey of strong green tea or matcha, the picture is clearer. At first, it seems to offer alertness, but with overuse, caffeine quickly turns into a double-edged sword for the brain. We've seen how it strains the nervous system, raises blood pressure, shortens sleep, and fuels oxidative stress. All of this shows how a habit that appears healthy can become a burden if not managed wisely. The encouraging truth is that solutions are within reach. Drinking lighter tea at the right times, adding herbal teas, warm water with lemon or ginger, coconut water, roasted barley tea, rooibos, or even a glass of warm milk in the evening are all small choices with big impact. These habits not only keep blood pressure steady, they also give the brain the rest it needs to repair itself and preserve memory. The key message I want to share is this: protecting the brain after 60 does not require complicated steps. Sometimes it's as simple as adjusting a daily drink, by shifting from strong, caffeine-heavy tea to lighter, more gentle options. We reduce the brain's burden and support sharper thinking for years to come. If you found this video helpful, I'd be grateful if you show your support by liking, subscribing, and sharing it with friends or family. And I'd love to hear from you as well. What drinks are part of your daily routine right now? And are you open to trying a gentler option for your brain? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll continue the conversation together.